Beacon, Fridays at 6:30 EST, with your hosts Michaeldseville and Joel Simmons. A channel whose focus is liberty. A place where the lessons discussed and taught will create openings to a more open and freer mindset. A mindset where you may reach the height of your potential and excel. Here are your hosts, Mike and Joel.
Let's go.
Great evening. How are we doing? It's Community Beacon. It's Friday, right around 6:30. I think we're a little bit early today, brother. I'm one of your co-hosts, Mike Seville, your real estate guy here in South Florida. Of course, you got on the other side of the screen our other co-host, Mr. Joe L from the Tenacity Foundation. Brother, what's going on?
Woo, 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 woo.
Be careful now. Don't let Arsenio come and sue us.
Bring back Arsenio Hall Show. Y'all play that on record. Bring back the Arsenio Hall Show. Bring back the Arsenio Hall Show. Bring back the Arsenio Hall Show.
Listen, man, that brings back memories, man. Well, shouts out to Arsenio Hall. I think he actually did just have a show recently. I don't know if it's still playing, but yeah, man. He was a bad brother too. Yeah. Arsenio was a bad brother. I saw him say so, he wasn't just all smiles and laughs when Eddie was around. Let's just say that. Man, shouts out to Arsenio Hall, brother. How we doing this Good Friday evening?
Absolutely fantastic, man. If I was doing any better, I have to make two of me just so that the other one can tell the other one, hey, man, you are doing well.
For the overflow. The other one will have to handle the overflow. I love it, guys. Let's get into it, man. Real quick, we got a new format for the show. We're gonna make it 15, 20 minutes. Let's see how we do with this. Always trying different things, always making adjustments. Just want to see where we at with it. So let's get into the housekeeping really quickly. Number one, like, subscribe, share, depending on what platform you're on. We love it. It helps out with the algorithm. It helps other people who are looking at the show to possibly check in with us, to know that we're here. You never know when you're scrolling and all of a sudden, boom, because you set a like, someone else saw it, and it helps someone out. So we really do appreciate that. Guys, let's talk about the shows that we have going and some other shows that we want you to check out. What it takes. I think last week was the first week I forgot to hit the button. Brother, you ever not hit the button on StreamYard and you were like, I'll do it a little bit later. I'll schedule it a little bit later. All of a sudden, it was like 11:30 and I woke up out of the bed. It was like, so I ran to the computer and hit it. So I think that show came out at around 11:30. Talking about mindset, we got into a lot of books that we did. That was the week before. Last week, or this week, I guess, because we're still in this week, I spoke about some YouTube shows for you to watch in regards to getting your mindset together. Mindset is paramount, guys. So that's why we were deep diving into it for the month of November. We're talking about mindset. And then, of course, on Wednesdays, we got to start with who? Starts with me, guys. Absolutely, brother. Who will you be interviewing this week, or who are you dropping this week?
We got the Professor Alan Baker. This guy is absolutely amazing. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's got an online video academy. You could, I definitely tell everybody where they can get with him. Listen, this is fire. This is absolutely fire. You want to hear this interview. This guy is fire. What happened with him? The stuff that happened to him. Let me just give you a little sneak peek. The accident and the way it happened and how it left him and who he is absolutely fire. And I mean, this guy comes full out with it, full out. This may have only been like maybe the third, fourth time that he's actually even shared this story out in the open. And it took him a while before he could do that because it pulls on so many heartstrings, but he left it all on the camera for us. And I'm definitely appreciative of him. He's a really smart guy, and he brings the fire. Y'all are going to love that. Matter of fact, dub that last 25 seconds and go ahead and sling that thing around for the next 24 for the next few days and let people get a feel for that thing because y'all want to see that. If you miss it, you're gonna be upset with yourself.
Awesome, brother. Hey, listen, I'm excited about it. Got everyone. My motto is as introverted as I am, because I can be ducked off. As introverted as I am, what I do know is that people is the key to life. Meeting new people, sharing their experiences, hearing their experiences. So awesome job with all the shows that you've done with This Starts With Me. You've always had excellent people. You've always done excellent interviews, and just being able to listen to these different testimonies. So if you're saying that this is one of the ones to watch, although I think they're all ones to watch, definitely go check it out. You said jiu-jitsu, right? Is that he said he has a
Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but like how he got there and what it took out of him, bro. I know you're going to listen to it. When you listen to it, you're going to know what I'm talking about when we get to the accident.
I love it, man. I love it.
It's just like, whoa, really? Like, oh man, recovery from that. Okay. All right. Let's go. I'm inspired.
I can't wait to check it out, man. I can't wait to check it out. Guys, we culminate on Fridays with Community Beacon. I can't say enough about this show. I get little reminders throughout the week in regards to the topics that we talk about from the week before, and a lot of the insight that we have, and a lot of the masterminding that we do, a lot of the critical thinking that we do on this show, and it carries over. Yesterday, the brother and I sat and had a really, really good conversation as we prepare for the show, and then we get into our regular talks, which we can do for hours if time would allow us. But yeah, so that was awesome, and as of course this month we are talking about gratitude, and it kind of hits different this month. Obviously we have Thanksgiving next week. Definitely everyone who's doing their traveling want to make sure that you all have safe travels. We know how holidays are. Everyone's trying to get to where they want to get to. So just be safe during your travels in regards to, next week coming up, Thanksgiving on Thursday. This year's went by really quickly. But, besides just the fact of it being Thanksgiving, I can't tell you how much gratitude has saved me this month just because we've been diving deeper into it, and how important it is in regards to, just on your day to day, boosting your attitude, boosting your energy levels, just having a good, even in regards to mindset, just a lot of different things, and to be grateful for the people. Last night I had a dinner with, Chris. We had a dinner. It was a bunch of family and friends members. We went out to Tropical Smokehouse. Go check them out. I don't eat pork. I don't eat pork. I don't eat ham. And a lot of the things on the menu, that's what they were for that event. And I mean, I can't say enough about the chef and the owner who came out and did. They were more upset about it than me. I was like, I'm fine. I'll eat, I'm okay. And I mean, they went back and they actually cooked me some chicken. They put some chicken on the grill after that. I mean, what restaurants do that? Go check out Tropical. I got to give you a shout out. Tropical Smokehouse over on Dixie, guys. Excellent food. And I mean, he went above his weight. I'm telling you, he was more upset than me. I was like, hey, I'm fine. I'm just glad to be around friends and family. And this guy went back and they made it happen. So shouts out to them. But one of the things
I saw the picture.
Did you see the picture?
Chris posted a picture on WhatsApp, and I was like, and I replied. I was like, oh man, I'm like, whoa, the only thing that was missing in that shot was I got to get there on the next one.
Oh yeah.
Them boys look sharp. Chris posted the photo, and it just says we would have taken a picture with the food, but before we knew it, it was gone.
It was gone. It was delicious. It was delicious. So one of the things we spoke about just in the talks of gratitude was just being grateful for the moments that we have. So being grateful for the moments we have, being grateful for the people that we have while we have them, because there's only two things that are promised in life. And I heard they were taxes and death. I definitely know death is promised. So, be grateful for the people you have. And in regards to this show, as you all see the title up there, 3 reasons why gratitude is important. So those were some extra things, and then we're going to kind of delve into it. A little new format for the show. We're all still getting used to it, so forgive us. Brother, you want me to start? I got a couple already off the top of my head.
Let's run, man. Let's run. Let's just go.
Love it, guys. I found it and I put it down here. Let me see if I could pull up this banner. I think just as a foundational part of living, just from a foundational point, because you can always go back to gratitude, no matter what is happening in life, no matter where you are, what's going on. You could be grateful. You can find something to be grateful for. And if we're living in the moment, and we know that living in the moment or being present in the moment is the power. And if we're thinking about, a lot of our past things, because living in the past, you may get depressed. Living in the future, you got anxiety and stress. But if you're living in the moment and you think about something that you could be grateful for in the moment, I think that's one of the most powerful things that you can do. So I put that as one of the top 3 reasons why. One of the 3 reasons why gratitude is so important is because you can use it as your foundation, and in that essence, you can use it to ground yourself. What do you say about that, brother?
I think that's important right there. As far as it goes for grounding, an individual that has grounded in gratitude or being grateful, I think that they have a different experience inside of life. I know for me that I have a different experience inside of life ever since I became more grateful about living. In times past when I was younger and I was just, somewhat of an angry and a depressed and a lost individual, it was always a fight against myself, right? And
Yeah.
I've even seen that attack on me, in days past, in days past when I just kind of like lost my focus and I wasn't as grateful for the air that I breathe, so to speak. And I saw that there was a reoccurrence of some of those old negative vibes and feelings and flow. And so I had to change those things and reground myself. So I think if there's anything, with grounding, is that the foundational aspect is that you need to make sure, or I need to make sure, or we need to make sure that we continue to ground ourselves in gratitude, right? And I'll give this as an example. Whenever you go to mess with electricity, I mean, guys, girls too, I mean, for that matter, you're getting ready to switch out a light or you're getting ready to switch out a plug or something that's electrical. The first thing you do before you change that thing is generally you turn off the electricity. The second thing is that you make sure that it's grounded. Every single time, you make sure you take that one grounding wire and you ground it first, because you don't want to get shocked. Nobody wants to be electrocuted. And I think that right there is significant to life. Like, you don't want to be shocked in life.
Yeah.
You don't want to be electrocuted. You don't want to be set aflame by electrocution that you just cannot release. And all of this negative energy is coming at you, changing the composition of you. You don't want that to happen. So make sure you get grounded. I make sure I get grounded. This is foundational. Do that first, and life will be so much easier.
Absolutely.
You can be that bright like you're designed to be.
Absolutely, brother. I've been thinking and doing a lot of meditating on different things. And one of the things I mentioned, I feel as if love is the ultimate. There's just nothing that there's like nothing that you can, that love can't overcome. But I just feel like sometimes it's hard to get there. You might have let's say you have a breakup with someone. You know what I mean? It's hard to sit back and really say, well, I love that person sometimes. Our ego gets in the way, etc. But we can always go back and say, well, I was grateful for those times. I was grateful for that thing. anger comes up, right? You get anger and you're going on, and it's emotional. You're going all different kinds of ways. With your child, I look. Elijah triggered me the other day, and I felt that anger coming up, but then it was like you come back and you ground that emotion with gratefulness. I'm grateful for having it. I'm grateful for having this conversation. I'm grateful for this perspective. So that's how we just take it. Just like the analogy you just gave in regards to grounding yourself from the electric shock. This is how you ground yourself when you're in your emotions or you're trying to figure out your emotions, is that you ground yourself in the gratefulness of it. And that's why I feel like it's so foundational. That's one of the top 3 reasons. I want to go into the second reason. It stops comparisons and competition. We need to come, because there's nothing, the world is abundant. There's no lack, right? We tend to have, sometimes we'll have these scarcity mindsets because of what we see. Well, this person has this and I don't have it. Or if this person gets this, then all of a sudden I feel like he took some of mine or she took some of mine. Right. I remember there was times in real estate when you see someone, they got a listing and a person goes, that should have been my listing. You all could have both went on a listing appointment. You went on an appointment and the other person got it. And you could easily say to yourself, oh man, that should have been mine. Or they took from yours. No one's ever taken from you. Okay. That's number one. Number 2 is that you got to be more creative. You got to come from a creative mindset of I can always create, whatever it is that I want in the abundance, as long as I have that thought process. But when you get to think about being grateful for these different experiences, then the competition goes away. I was grateful that I at least had the chance. Now I know what I can improve upon. Now I know what I can improve upon. Now I know what I get my time back for the certain things. And then as far as the comparison thing, huge within, not in this social media, internet era of where you're looking at stuff and you're saying, well, this person has this person has that. Well, you're thinking about what you don't have when you should really be thinking about what it is that you do have. I have my home. I have my car. You know what I mean? It might be beat up, but it's getting me from point A to point B. Be blessed. Someone's walking, and those who are walking, you might not be walking. You could be disabled. There might not be a bus around. So there's always something that someone could be that you don't have that someone else may want, or you have, something that you have that someone else may want, or you seeing something else. So when you're grateful what you have and what you're sitting in, and you smile with that, say, this old junker boy is getting me from place to place, but it gets me there. I might have to park around the corner sometimes, but it's gonna get me to where I want to go. You got to be grateful for it. What you say about this, brother? In regards to the gratitude,
I absolutely love that. I love that, and this part for the comparison and competition, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times we've said this multiple times. The thing, it comes down to this. You see the now, but you don't know the how. And sometimes people see what's going on and they compare themselves to, but they don't know what has happened over the years, the struggle and whatnot. So I think it is really important that we stray away from comparison. I like that. We stray away from comparison. And when we stray away from this comparison, then we can find ourselves becoming and being more grateful. And when that happens, we can actually learn the lessons that somebody else is delivering, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what the lesson may be if I'm looking on TikTok or I'm looking on, YouTube or whatever it is, and I'm aspiring to do something like somebody else. Maybe I should just learn whatever they have and not situate myself like looking at someone, look at them at the beach, and then just sit there and kind of like drool over someone else being at the beach. Maybe what I should do is get off of YouTube, get off of social media, and start working on my own plan to do the things that I desire to do. Be grateful for what I have, and then start making plans on how I can achieve what I desire to be.
Brother, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you why this is the perfect segue. And I'm going to use that exact example of the beach example of someone on TikTok. It goes to accountability, right? You still have free will and you still have a choice. So if you see someone at the beach and you're comparing yourself because you're not necessarily there, you can go to the beach. Being the gratitude, if the gratitude that we should have is just in the moment, every moment that we have, every decision that we get to make. Thank God gave us free will, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? That being said, there are consequences, or there are repercussions or responses to the decisions that you do make. So be sure that I think that's what, that's my definition of a man. When you're ready to stand in, you're ready to stand up for the decision that you do make. You know what I mean? Stand on what you say. People say stand on it. If you say something, stand on it. Whatever, stand on it. Not to say that you can't be, but you said it, so be ready to handle the consequences of it. So I think gratitude brings back this accountability. That's, for some people, that may be a negative word. I think some people don't want to be held accountable for stuff, but accountability is a great thing, right? And it's a great thing because now you understand that, okay, I can do this, and we're all the decisions that we've made have got us to this point. And we can choose to stay in the path that we're going or not. But don't have lack of gratitude for the decision that you made. Be grateful for the experiences, and then figure out how do we move to the next thing. What do you say about that, brother? Gratitude.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I was just looking up a scripture because you reminded me of a scripture, and I thought that it would be important. And I went on here and I found it. It's in the book of Deuteronomy. It's the 23rd chapter. And it says in verse 21, when thou shalt vow unto the Lord thy God, thou shalt not slack to pay it. For the Lord thy God shall surely require it of thee, and it will be sin in thee. So here's the other part. But if thou shalt forbear to vow, it shall be no sin in thee. Both of those two statements are huge, right? Really, really, really big. So one, if you vow a vow unto God, he expects for you to keep it. We can dive really deep in that. We can even start talking about marriage vows. The reason why you don't divorce simply because you're unable to figure it out. You need to figure it out, because those of us that marry other people, marry our spouses in the name of God, you got to keep it, because the vow is to God. It's in God. That's who you make the vow to. The wife, in my case, or the husband, in maybe a woman's case, they get the benefit of the vow, but it's under God. So that seals the deal. It's like, okay, we don't, it's, you're having a rough time. Well, then stop comparing. Stop comparing with Miss Jones and Mr. Jones and how perfect their life looks. You see the now, but you don't know the how. They show up at that dinner date. They look like they're just falling out in love with each other. You don't know that they're not just, placating that entire environment. They could have their mask on. We talked about this before. They could be walking around with their mask on, and when they get home, they go to two different beds. They go to two different rooms. They drop each other off and go to two different houses because they can't keep it together.
Yep.
So I love that whole thing. Accountability is the mark of a leader. Accountability is the mark of a leader. You stand on your word and you take the hit for it. And so if God required that, or better, just don't even say you're going to do it, right? Just don't even say it. So gratitude, how does that work with gratitude? I believe that it works with gratitude in this sense. When you are grateful and you are accountable, you can manifest much more. In the simplest of terms. I like it.
Absolutely, guys. So that's it, I guess. That's the 3 reasons of why gratitude is important. Appreciate you all for checking into the show, brother. Any closing words?
I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's roll. Let's roll. You ready? All right. Listen, y'all. I know that we put together this little episode and we're happy to have done it. We're very glad. We hope that you'll be back again when we start to go back deeper into gratefulness, because that's what the whole month is about, gratefulness and gratitude. All right. So we want to go ahead and take away the tip-top thought of this month and bring that back to you on the very next week. So please check us out again. Make sure you DM us, please. Inside of the notes, we want to hear from you. What are you grateful for? How do you feel about being foundational rights and being in gratitude, as well as comparison, as well as competition? And then also tell us what are you accountable for? We want to hear from you. So light it on up, y'all. Remember, visit Michaeldseville at YouTube and visit Tenacity Foundation on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, ding. Now you know when we're coming on. Peace.
Peace.